versions, so I can sort of notice the difference between how that one looked and how this one does, so it'll be interesting to see how they ride between the difference between both bikes, or has there been an improvement in the upgrades over the last model. I also think in the front here where they knocked off the beak, well, that's a bit of an improvement compared to the previous model. It was sort of a bit overdone, I thought, so this one here blends in nicely. It doesn't overshoot the front of it as much as the other one, or pointed beak type of air, so I think that's good. Another point worth mentioning, you know, you got LEDs at the front too, so that's something good. I like the idea of having LEDs on the lights and stuff like that, so I think that'll be a far better improvement. Clutch pull is normal there, but over on the brake side you have got the adjustments. So I'll just leave the factory stock at the moment, see how that performs, and then if I need any adjustments I can go from there. Seat height is a pretty low 32 inch, or roughly around that 32 inch mark, so it appears comfortable when I rode it home from the shop, so it's no different than roughly what's on that classic 500 Royal Enfield. So as far as ride height goes, no difference. I did notice up front, like when you were sitting on the bike, that you could tell that it is raked up a little bit higher up at the front, because just seemed a little bit slightly off balance, but that's probably a little bit on my side, because I haven't been on one of these sort of bikes now for 8 months. The other bikes are totally different to riding compared to something like this. One you're riding virtually new technology, the other one's a new bike, but it looks like it's 50-year-old, so that's the difference between both bikes. We'll turn on the instrumentation now and you can have a bit of a quick look at that. So at this stage I've put on, well, it's got 3.5 kilometres on the clock. We'll zoom in and have a bit of a look. One of the other finer points of this bike is, for the first time ever, it's got a gear indicator, so we're showing neutral at the moment. So I think that'll be a plus when I'm riding it. Also notice my petrol lights flashing, so I'll have to get some gas before I take her out on a bit of a test run. Something else you may be interested in, the weight wise on these bikes, they come in at around about 195, something like that. So the Enfield comes in roughly at the same weight, so between them there's no difference in the weight, so they both run in at around that 195 kilos each. Another plus point for this one, it comes standard with ABS front and rear, so that's a good point as far as that goes, and I think that would about sum up a bit of a look over of the bike. I'll take her out maybe tomorrow, as soon as I get it insured, on a bit of a test run. We'll see how it goes, or what I think of it compared to the previous bike. But from first impressions on my ride home, seems pretty good, so like all things, you got to get on them and take them a bit of a run. I'll be able to give you an idea then what I think of it compared to 650 Interceptor, so in the Royal Enfield range. So it'll be interesting to see how the little 500 runs against the 650. They both handle the same amount of, they both put out the same amount of power, so there's not much difference that way. So if you enjoyed the look over, anyway, thanks for looking, and I'll catch up with you later on the test.